Welcome to the Gay Buddhist Forum, where teachers from all schools of Buddhism offer their perspectives on the Dharma and its application in modern times, especially for LGBTQI audiences. These talks are offered freely to the world and made possible by appreciative listeners. If you would like to support our efforts to share the Dharma with underserved audiences, please visit gaybuddhist.org. There you can donate, find a list of upcoming speakers, or enjoy many hundreds of these recorded talks dating back to 1996.
So now is the time that we song and we'll start by introducing ourselves to one another. This morning I feel really joyful, which isn't every day, so I thought maybe if you feel like it, contribute something as you introduce yourself as to why the holidays bring this out in you or whatever. I'm just happy we're in a warm, dry place. My name is Peter.
My name is Eduardo. Doug.
I'm Kei Matsuda.
Jim Bucher.
My name is Roy.
Paul Wintermitz.
Jim Stewart.
Lies Olivia.
Fred Fishman.
Jay Davidson.
My name is Jerry Jones.
I'm Richard Azzolini.
I'm Jim. I'm Joe Castro-Vinci.
I'm Brian.
My name is Tage Lilia.
Top one.
Peter.
James.
My name is Michael Walshul.
My name is John McEllier.
And I'm Ed Egg.
My name is Michael.
My name is Jeffrey Young.
I'm Conrad.
I'm Jeff Busby.
I'm Juan.
Good morning, I'm Eric.
I'm Henry Rabinowitz.
Kurt.
David Lewis.
I'm Len.
Rich.
I'm Renat.
I'm Jerry Martin.
My name is Eric.
I'm Casey.
I'm Roger.
My name is Howard Deeport.
Jennifer. Berezan.
So our practice will be that Jennifer will lead us for an hour approximately, and then afterwards we'll have half an hour of social time out in the foyer. And then at 12:30 some people will get together and go to lunch if anybody's inclined. We also ask that there's people here for the first time so that we can just welcome you, and say hello to you and during the social hour, half hour. Is there anybody here for the first time that wants to introduce themselves? One?
Yeah.
Good morning. Thank you. I'm sorry. Oh, Casey, good morning. Welcome. Anybody else? Okay. Well, now it's actually one of the reasons why I was so happy I was driving over here and I was like, oh God, I didn't look at the website. And last time they didn't have a calendar, so I was like, ooh. But and then I asked somebody and they said it was Jennifer. And I probably won't say your last name.
Berezan.
Berezan.
Yeah.
And the intro that we have on our website for Jennifer is Jennifer Berezan is a unique blend of singer, songwriter, teacher, and activist. Over the course of 8 albums, she has developed and explored recurring themes with a rare wisdom. Her lifelong involvement in environmental, women's, and other justice movements, as well as an interest in Buddhism and earth-based spirituality, is at the heart of her writing. She teaches at the California Institute of Integral Studies in the Department of Philosophy and Religion. Her ongoing class since 1997 is entitled The Healing Ecstasy of Sound, and explores music as a spiritual practice from a wide range of cross-cultural, traditional, and contemporary perspectives. Thank you, Jen.
Thanks, Peter. Hi, everybody. I was really happy knowing I was coming here today. And joy, you said joy, and here we are in like this really kind of stormy, intensely dramatic weekend. And it's dark out and it's raining and cold, and so that was kind of great to hear you say joy in the middle of that. So I've been really actually feeling this season, and wanted to bring in some of that quality of the dark and the time that we're living in, and the kind of the turning of this seasonal wheel that we are part of as really animals on this earth. And, Buddhist traditions arose within cultural conditions and in cultures that were very attuned to the seasons and the effects of the shifting of weather patterns and the moon cycles and the sun and all of that. And so in Buddhist countries, a lot of Buddhist ceremonies and various practices are in line with what's happening in nature. And I think sometimes we don't get that here because we're sort of outside of that cultural context. And those cultures have deep shamanistic traditions. So there's all kinds of ceremonies in Buddhism that are connected to the phases of the moon, or certain times that are good for doing certain chanting practices. So it's not like sort of separate from nature and just kind of practice of only mind, but actually realizing we're also bodies here and that we are affected and can benefit. So I just wanted to kind of invite in the quality of the dark, that we're coming in 2 days to the shortest day of the year, the longest night, this beautiful darkness. And I want to start with this little poem that has a lot of Dharma in it from T.S. Eliot. It's about that much from this giant, larger poem, but I love these words. Maybe some of you are familiar with it. I said to my soul, be still and wait without hope, for hope would be for the wrong thing. Wait without love, for love would be of the wrong thing. There is yet faith, but the faith and the love and the hope are all in the waiting. Wait without thought, for you are not ready for thought. So the darkness shall be the light, and the stillness the dancing. I use this as a mantra at times in my life when I just feel like things have to be a certain way. Or especially other people have to be a certain way. And I love the line, wait without thought, for you are not yet ready for thought. Which to me is very dharmic. The way we impose our thoughts on things and cause ourselves a lot of unnecessary, I think, grief because of it. So when I first moved to the Bay Area a long, long time ago, like many of you probably made pilgrimages. How many of you kind of made your pilgrimage to the Bay Area at some point, came from some other place? How many of you woke up on a morning like this and actually shoveled snow when you were young? You get it. And there was this group that was meeting, a group of women, and they called themselves Dharma witches. And it was before my time, but I've always wanted to be a card-carrying member of the Dharma witches because they were deeply steeped in the practices and understanding of Dharma and the nature of mind and deep psychological insight, but also were very based in the earth and the wisdom of earth and the body, and not kind of using practices to transcend the body, but really understanding that we are embodied, where we can awaken in and through our bodies. And so I want to start with some music with you today that's kind of in line with feeling this deep connection to the dark and to the earth, and starting with a traditional chant and then moving to a couple songs. And just kind of, I'm familiar with many of your faces, so I know we know each other. So I'm going to just weave a little bit of talking and quite a bit of chanting and singing. I love coming here because your singing is so strong. It's like all these incredible male voices. It's the one time in my life where I get to be in a room of like 50 gorgeous men singing. So I love it. So there's a sutra in Buddhism called the Heart Sutra. Many of you have probably heard of it. And it developed in Mahayana tradition a little bit later on. It's kind of this really deep, incredible teaching. And they talk about, there are these lines that we're going to chant that they say that these lines, that the whole teaching can kind of be distilled into this one mantra. And the mantra is Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvaha. How many of you have heard that before? It's the heart. It's sort of at the heart of the Heart Sutra. And the Heart Sutra one way of interpreting that, or a translation, is they say it's the perfection of transcendent wisdom. And in the perfection of transcendent wisdom is seen embodied in this figure called Prajnaparamita. If you go to Spirit Rock and ever do long-term retreats there in the upper hall, there's this image of the Buddha, and there's an image right next to the Buddha of this female deity, Prajnaparamita. And she's considered the mother of all Buddhists. And she embodies this transcendent wisdom, they say, that is like a spacious sky. It's like this sky that is empty. It's completely empty, but it's full of possibility. It's where everything emerges from. But it's also deep emptiness. And the teaching about it is that it's a state of mind. It evokes a state of mind that is non-dualistic, so that it helps with these tendencies we have as human beings, and this is the core Buddhist teaching, to either push stuff away or want things, right? The craving and aversion, constantly. And this is this state of mind that they say is really our true nature. It's at the core of who we are, and we all know the relief that comes when we can actually inhabit that space. It's just kind of waiting for us to discover it. It's not something you have to manufacture. We don't have to be redeemed. It's not like a redemption model where you're kind of rotten to the core, like this original sin, and then you have to kind of redeem yourself. It's actually this beautiful, optimistic teaching that it's who we naturally are. This capacity to experience things in a very in a non-grabbing and a non-pushing away way, and. Is thinking a little bit more into this. Another way they talk about this is they use the term one taste. And it's not like a moral teaching, like you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that. It's like this incredible, almost pleasure that comes from this one taste consciousness where suddenly everything's kind of interesting. Everything's kind of, you walk down the street and everybody you see is either kind of fascinating or curious. You're kind of curious about them rather than, oh, I know what you're like because you look like that, or these conditioned ideas we put on reality all the time that actually make our experience less vibrant, less pleasurable, less enjoyable, really, because we're pushing away things, or you know how it feels. You kind of tense up, and it's the state of mind where it's like, where we can open to things without so much labeling of good and bad, really. And it makes life a lot more interesting, really. Pema Chodron always talks about this, the great teacher, that there's this deep curiosity about everything. Everything's kind of fascinating. And if you look at the Dalai Lama or Pema Chodron, they're always laughing at everything. They find everything really amusing. Instead of getting all worked up about stuff, or kind of all... It's actually things are kind of funny. We get into that, and that's one taste, and that's a sort of spacious mind. So we're going to chant this chant. It doesn't have to be like this serious thing, gate, like cutting through everything. And it's more like opening in this deep, relaxed mind, deep, relaxed state of mind that wants to open in us. And one of the translations that I've heard from Soltra Malaoni, who's a Tibetan teacher of this chant, is let go some more. Now really let go. A more traditional translation might be gone beyond the beyond. And it's not so much like, oh, everything is lost. It's like there's this, all of these things fall away, and there's just this spacious openness. So we'll start with this, and I use the Shruti box, which I've used before here. It's a droning instrument. It helps to quiet the activity of the mind. It actually changes the brain waves in your brain, and there's all kinds of studies done on drones and how they affect us. But we know how it feels because all we have to do is listen to an instrument like this that's used in lots of chanting around the world. I'm talking to you right now. You could have a conversation with a friend while you're playing a drone. And the quality of it just changes because then it stops and you can really feel it. Right? So it's just a simple little example of that. So we'll chant gate, para samgate, bodhisvaha. Let's just say it. And just taking a moment to really deeply relax. Noticing how you feel. Just letting yourself have this moment of nothing that has to be done. Just residing in this moment and the pleasure of just relaxing in the body. Relaxing around whatever is arising. Whether it's tiredness or sweet feeling or anxiety or physical pain, peace, whatever it is, just letting ourselves relax and soften around it, opening around it, inviting ease into our beings as much as possible in this moment. Letting ourselves have that. So from the traditional Heart Sutra to a folk song, written by a man named Joe Crookston, a beautiful song for this day. Kind of a folk song version of Gate Gate. It's got lines that repeat and you'll catch on. When this life is over and I have gone away, I'm gonna leave this big old world and the troubles and the pain. When I get to heaven, I will not stay. Turn myself around again, fall down as the rain, fall down as the rain, fall down as the rain. Turn myself around again, fall down as the rain. Try that, fall down. Fall down as the rain, fall down as the rain. Turn myself around again, fall down as the rain. When I finally reach the ground, soak into the sod, turn myself around again, come up as goldenrod, come up as goldenrod, come up as goldenrod, turn myself around again, come up as goldenrod, come up as goldenrod, come up as goldenrod, turn myself around again, come up as goldenrod. And when I turn dry and brown, I lay me down to rest, turn myself around again, part of an eagle's nest, part of an eagle's nest, part of an eagle's nest, turn myself around again, part of an eagle's nest, part of an eagle's nest, part of an eagle's nest. Turn myself around again, part of an eagle's nest. When that eagle learns to fly, I'll flutter from that tree, turn myself around again, part of the mystery, part of the mystery, part of the mystery. Turn myself around again, part of the mystery, part of the mystery, part of the mystery. Turn myself around again, part These are words from the great Vietnamese Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh. I have arrived. I am home in the here and in the now. Try that. I have arrived. I am home in the here and in the now. I am solid. I am free. 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 In the ultimate I dwell. In the infinite I dwell. In the ultimate I dwell. In the infinite I dwell. I have arrived. I'm home. I am home in the here. In the here and in the now. I have arrived. I am home in the here and in the now. I'm solid. I am solid. I am free. I am solid. I am free. In the ultimate I dwell. In the infinite I dwell. I have arrived. I am home in the here and in the now. I have arrived. I am home in the here and in the now. I am solid. I am free. I am solid. I am free. In the ultimate I dwell. In the infinite I dwell. In the ultimate I dwell. In the infinite I have I want to do a Tibetan chant with you, and it's a traditional, beautiful chant, O Mani Padme Hum. And the translation basically says, "Hail to the jewel in the lotus," which we hear that and we go, okay. But I've heard it explained as, the lotus is a beautiful image in Buddhism of awakening. It's this flower that grows in, if you've seen lotus ponds, you know, the pond is really muddy and dirty, and then out of this pond comes this gorgeous stem and this flower, this beautiful flower, out of the dirt, out of the kind of murky, mucky water. And it's an image of really that, you know, awakening happens out of the mud of our lives, out of the grit and grime and reality of who we are, and not like some, we don't have to like go off to some special place over there, some temple over there, or ascend to some other plane. Or it's actually the seeds are within our own experience. And yeah, I want to. This is the moment I want to talk about being gay, because I think it's part of this. It was for me, for sure. I feel like my dharmic understanding, my way of seeing myself and the world and my spirituality is intimately connected to to being a lesbian, and that's such a, we know what that, you know what that means. It's such a vast. It's a vast thing to say you're gay. It's not, you know, there's a whole levels and levels of things that come with that. And you know, I was raised in the suburbs of Calgary, Alberta, in Canada, in the 60s and early 70s, and there was no context for understanding who I was at all at that time. There was no internet, there was no bookstore, there was nothing. There might have been a couple CD bars downtown that you didn't even think about, especially when you're young. Maybe that was like, and I was Catholic, you know. And so there was nothing to reflect back to me who I deeply was discovering I was. And I had to figure it out on my own. And I had to, you know, through a lot of, it was really an interesting and challenging path. But there was a way that there was some way that I learned to trust my experience, to even in a context where there was absolutely nothing reflecting myself back, and also where there was hostility, potential great hostility. I mean, I was in a real traditional Catholic setting, you know, would have been really bad at a certain age, and still in the midst of that, and I know we all can relate to this, to start to awaken to who I was and to trust it. And to me, that's deep Dharma, because the deepest teachings of the Dharma are that basically we're living in a conditioned reality, that we are seeing things in a false way because of the ways that we've been conditioned, and the habits of mind that we have, and the cultural overlays, and the things that our parents told us, and all these messages that we have playing all the time get in the way of what is really true. And most of them are, like we all know, those tapes that we cycle inside our own minds about ourselves. And so there's just something, for me, and I know for many of us, that be able to cut through that level of conditioning to the truth was profound. And it's an example, and to me, it's a template really for everything else that can come after that. And I like reading this from Eckhart Tolle. I think I've read it here before because he talks about it. Someone asks him, in the quest for enlightenment, is being gay a help or a hindrance? Or does it not make any difference? You know, most people would probably say it doesn't make any difference. I would say most of the spiritual teachers I've ever gone to. So I really liked what he said. He says, as you approach adulthood, uncertainty about your sexuality, followed by the realization that you are different from others, may force you to disidentify from socially conditioned patterns of thought and behavior. This will automatically raise your level of consciousness above that of the unconscious majority, whose members unquestionably take on board all inherited patterns. In that respect, being gay can be a help. Being an outsider to some extent, someone who does not fit in with others or is rejected by them for whatever reason, makes life difficult, but it also places you at an advantage as far as enlightenment is concerned. It takes you out of unconsciousness almost by force. I like that. And I would say also, I think it can be a great pathway to empathy, to developing empathy and compassion, because when you know what it's like to be. I mean, you all live in the Castro, you're all adults, you might not experience this very much anymore. But we all know at some point, usually most of us, unless we got really lucky, what it's like to feel like that outsider, or that person with a secret. And it can give us great empathy for understanding the suffering of other people, of all kinds, there's always outsiders everywhere. And I think that level, opening to that, and can awaken great compassion in us. So I think that's another gift that can emerge. Time always goes so fast when I'm here, so that's, I guess, all I want to say about it for now. But, yeah. So let's do Om Mani Padme Hum. So I'll just sing it line by line, a couple lines at a time. We'll sing the melody. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme deeply relaxing, letting the vibration of the sound resonate through your whole body, all your cells. We have a few minutes maybe for questions, and then we'll have one last song chant that we'll do together. Anybody have anything they want to either share or ask me?
Yes, thank you for coming again today, Jennifer.
Pleasure.
It's a pleasure. We had an email go around telling us about that song you put together with all the singers.
Right.
And I want for you to talk about that and whether because you travel a great deal and you do a lot more than just this.
Oh,
so
sure. Yeah, I'd love to talk about that. That's the song we're going to finish with today, and it's, I think I played it here when I was just developing it. It's based on loving kindness. It's kind of like a giant multicultural loving kindness gumbo. And it's a long piece that goes for an hour and is based in the phrases, may all beings be happy, may all beings be safe, may all beings everywhere be free. And there are singers from all over the world who add their voices and kind of do these beautiful improvised prayers, really. And and it begins with 250 Buddhist nuns in Korea chanting. I traveled to Korea, I worked there quite a bit, and got permission to go to one of the most esteemed, it's kind of like the Harvard for women in Asia who are Buddhists, and recorded 250 nuns doing their chanting practice, and they're woven through, and they're actually doing the gate gate throughout the piece, so there's this kind of pulsing that comes in and out of the piece. There's this deep gate gate kind of, and then there's Tibetan singer Dechen Shakdagse doing Om Mani Padme Hum, there's mantras, and then there's a Nicaraguan singer singing beautiful phrases for the world, and there's a young French-Canadian woman. It just sounds a little bit like a really sweet Amy Winehouse singing beautiful, kind of just lovely phrases, and a whole variety of people all mixed together. And Jack Kornfield does a bonus track where he's doing an actual loving kindness meditation. So, and if you go online, we produced a video. It's a 12-minute video, if you find it through my website, of all these faces, all these people doing this. And we've had like 5,000 hits in like 10 days. And for the independent artists, that's not bad. And people are just being quite moved by it, because you see all these people from around the world. If you have the flute player from India, an Indian singer from the East Bay, Rita Sahai, and all these, and Melanie DeMore, who's an incredible African-American singer, Raz Kennedy, who's kind of a renowned voice teacher here in San Francisco, African-American guy, great singers singing together, and just all these great images of this beauty. So you can see it in video as well. But that's the piece, yeah. It's called In These Arms, A Song for All Beings. I brought it today. Just came out. Anybody else want to share anything or ask anything?
When you spoke about the Dharma witches, I had the honor of meeting just an old lady in Vermont once, Radcliffe graduate, but every year at different times she would go out in the fields and set fires and see which way the the smoke blew, and sending information to the Farmer's Almanac. She was part of the prophecy team about what the weather was going to be like. And she was a town librarian and completely straightforward about the unity of being. It was quite wonderful. It struck me as sort of a village.
I'll have to think about doing that.
Because you seemed at one with what you teach, and it's a privilege to have you here.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. It's so amazing that you all keep coming here. It's just fantastic. It's a great sign. I love, every year I come back and you're all here and there are new faces. And Sunday morning, 10:30. It's fantastic. Really great. Yeah.
Can you quickly say something about how you went from the suburb of Calgary to here?
All right. Any of you ever been to Calgary? Yeah, so Calgary's renowned for the Calgary Stampede, so it's like, you guys are probably like it's rodeos, it's like... but no, it's probably maybe the most conservative part of Canada. Traditionally, it's all big oil. It's like the sort of the Dallas of Canada. That's where I grew up. But there was, like any town, there was a city, there was a really vibrant kind of alternative community. It was small, and it was in one part of town, and as soon as I got into university, I found it. And I majored in comparative religion, which completely blew my Catholic mind open. I took women's studies, which completely opened my lesbian mind. And I did a lot of political activism around solidarity stuff around South Africa and Latin America, Nicaragua, and El Salvador, and Chile, and various movements that were happening at the time, the peace movement, anti-nuclear movement. I was always the one with the big megaphone singing, leading the chants and stuff. So I got very involved in that. And, what is somebody who's like interested in spirituality, politics, music, gay culture? I got in my '67 Volvo, and I drove down to California to go to school with at a place that Matthew Fox, some of you might know his work. He's an ex-Catholic priest, very, very progressive, who was pretty much excommunicated for embracing so many of the values that I think we all hold. And so I went to his school, and that's what got me down here initially. And there was such a thriving scene around music and culture and diversity like I'd never experienced that eventually made my life here. It's been a long time now, 20-some years. Yeah, but the prairies are still in me. So I think in some ways the land we grow up on is still part of us. So I have that kind of sensibility, I think, still. Yeah, and little Canadian still, If you run into a Canadian on the street, physically, if you run right into them, they'll always apologize. So kind of nice Canadians. All right, well, let's do this last piece together. So this is the piece I was telling you about, and I don't have all the singers from around the world here, but we will be performing it probably with all those singers coming here in next November as a concert meditation. And I hope you might join us. Usually, when I've done these kinds of events, if you know my work, Praises for the World, we've done large, maybe 1,500 people, 2,000 people will come together, and all these different people from different cultures come, and the whole audience sings the whole time. So it begins with a song, and then it leads into the metta chant, so we can finish with metta, the sending out first to ourselves. One of the phrases on the CD that Jack Cornfield speaks is There is no one more worthy of love in this universe than the one who is listening to my voice right now. So we start with ourselves, with metta. It's kind of a radical notion. And then we move out into the world, into other people. I cannot turn my eyes. I cannot count the cost of all that has been broken, all that has been lost. I cannot understand the suffering that life brings, war and hate and hunger, and a million other things. When I've done all that I can, and I try to do my part, let sorrow be the doorway into an open heart, and the light on the hills is full of mercy. The wind in the trees Thank you so much. It's lovely being with you. I look forward to the next time. If you want to follow, if you want to come to that show and want to know about it, I'll have a mailing list. You can give me your email if you want. I won't send you any other notices except just stuff with shows and the CD. Peter.
Do we have any announcements?
I was just going to mention one thing on the theme of music. I sing in the Gay Men's Chorus here in San Francisco, and we're doing our usual three Christmas Eve concerts at the Castro Theater at 5, 7, and 9. And I left some flyers outside if anyone is interested.
Next week, we'll have an open discussion.
And do we have a host today?
Yeah, my name is Tage, and I'm the host today. There's some orange cardamom coffee cake, chocolate chip, oatmeal, walnut, and some fresh fruit outside. Enjoy. There's also some hot water for some tea. If you use a mug, please wash it out with some hot soapy water and put it in the dish rack. I'm going to be walking around with the Donna Bowl. The suggested donation is $5 to $7 if you can. We have a sign-up list for a quarterly newsletter on the credenza outside. If you're interested in receiving that either by mail or electronically, you can put your name down. And then, like Peter said, I think at 12:30, folks gather at the door to go out to lunch. If you're interested in doing that, stay around.
I can't think of anything else. Jennifer, thank you again so much for, it feels like a great internal massage.
Good.
Would you lead us out with a dedication of merit?
We sing This is the traditional.
Yeah. Do they all know it?
Not so much, probably.
Let's chant it. Kind of do it on one note, okay? By the power and truth of this practice, may all beings have happiness, and the causes of happiness. May all be free from sorrow, and the causes of sorrow. May all never be separated from the sacred happiness which is without sorrow. And may all live in equanimity, without too much attachment or too much aversion, and live believing in the equality of all that lives.
Thank you for listening to the Gay Buddhist Forum. If you would like to hear several new talks per month and be notified of upcoming speakers so you can participate live, please subscribe to this podcast, like us on Facebook, and join our mailing list by visiting gaybuddhist.org.